Hey, thank you everyone for getting back to our event today. We're very, very excited to have Deana Clark with us today. She has an amazing studio, health and wellness studio in Delray Beach. And she is the owner, along with her daughters, of this studio. And she's been in this industry for 25 years. And she definitely knows what her talking about. Her real passion is wellness and anti-aging and helping people to keep from aging, the process of aging. So we share that actually very much, and I'm really excited to have her today. So Deana, just tell us a little bit about how you got into this industry and what really, really gets you excited about it.
My background, I started out as a massage therapist
Mhm.
and wanted to do more to help with the aging process, slowing it down.
Mhm.
Nutrition is huge for me. I'm very passionate about getting results. I love to see people feel better, look better, feel more confident in how they look.
Right, right.
So, for.
And so that's what got you into it, and it's just been carried on in that manner. You were also a model for a while, as we can see. You're absolutely gorgeous, and you must have had quite a nice modeling career as well. So that was part of what you got you into this, right?
It was absolutely. I started out as a model at a very young age. Did my first job for Sears and Roebuck when I was like 12
Oh
years
my gosh, the
old.
big
So,
catalog.
my little Easter basket.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember it well.
Yeah, and it just evolved through the years, a passion to look good and keep my skin looking good. And I've always felt bad for people that had bad skin. I always wanted to help in some way. And my mother was always big with Mary Kay, so that was, I
Mhm.
was sort of raised with taking good care of my skin.
Well, I see, just reading your website, that you deal with a lot of people who have bad acne, and of course, with all of us growing up, have had that problem. Well, some people not, but most people have. I know I did, and it was horrible. Just horrible feeling. You look at your face in the morning, it just you don't feel good about yourself. So, I think everybody's experience, your appearance and how you feel about yourself is affected by your appearance. It's just a real, very real thing.
It
So
really
you're
is.
you're really helping people feel better when you're helping them with their appearance, right? So
Absolutely.
it's
I
got to
mean,
be.
even one
Go ahead.
that someone who's got acne vulgaris and a complete, broken out face, it really can be crippling in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Where you don't feel good about how you look, you don't want to be seen, and it's
Can
sad.
you really do something with people like that are that serious, have it that seriously?
We can. I'm not a nutritionalist, but we always talk. We start with what goes on the inside, shows on the outside.
Right.
So we do really try to promote healthy lifestyle, supplementation for acne. Niacinamide and strong vitamin B is great to clear up the skin, as
Well,
well as any keratin product.
wouldn't acne be affected by the acidity? In other words, you'd want them to be more on an alkaline diet, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Lots of green leafy vegetables.
Right. And because a lot of people I found, just milk can have a very acidic effect, dairy products in general, right? And I've seen differences in people when they've just cut milk out in terms of their acne.
And gluten. Gluten can also contribute.
Yeah. So really, we're looking at more of a vegan or a vegetarian diet, you
Yeah.
know?
A lot
Yeah.
of it's in your guts
hmm
for
hmm
the acne.
So do you work with fasting? Do you have people fast in different ways?
Uh, we really don't because we don't promote the nutritional side of things. We don't have a nutritionist in the office.
hmm
We do medical weight loss, but I just talk with people about what they're, cons- what they're eating, what
Right.
they're doing internally that could.
Right. What could help with the different. Right. So tell us a little bit about, what happens when somebody comes into your office in terms of, how you handle, you know, how you examine them and, where you go from there.
So we start out always with a consultation and just discuss with them what their major concerns are. You
Mhm.
know, for some people it is acne, for others it's rosacea.
Mhm.
Seems to be a lot of melasma now. That is a condition that can be treated but not curable.
Mhm.
So we sit down with the client and discuss with them what their major concerns are, and then just try to address them one at a time. Some just want to look better, some want to look younger, some have sun damage. We're in Florida, so that's a huge problem down here, which also contributes to the melasma. So everything starts out with a consultation, and then we just put them on a program, discussing what they're doing on a daily basis as far as their skincare regimen, what they're eating, if they're exercising, how much water they're consuming, and all of those things. And then we'll go from there and put them on a program that could entail, hydrofacial just for a good cleansing. Maybe they need some neuromodulators, or maybe they need some fillers, or perhaps some laser. Maybe they have a lot of sun damage. So each person is treated individually, and we try to address their needs. We don't. It's not a cookie cutter. It just depends on what they're here for.
Right, right. Oh, you mentioned the hydro treatment. Is that what you
Hydro,
call it? Hydrotherapy?
hydrofacial.
Hydrofacial. So tell us a little bit about that. How does that work?
So hydrofacial is a very good cleansing and exfoliating treatment that's done to the skin, but it allows myself and the technicians to really evaluate what could be going on deeper. So by doing a hydrofacial, we start out with a salicylic wash, usually clean the dead skin cells. It's a suction and a hydration at the same time. So it's like a microdermabrasion, but not as abrasive because it's liquid. So it's done with a liquid barrier on the skin so it doesn't damage the skin, but it takes out all the impurities, and at the same time, it's infusing peptides and nutrients into the skin.
And there's no pain involved in that, I would imagine. It's the one about painless ones.
No pain, no needles, no pain. That's about the only feel-good thing we do.
Yeah, so it's not as like going to the dentist, but I imagine there's some of the things you do, some of the things where there's like a scraping or something like that. I mean, do those get kind of painful for people or not?
So we're primarily a cosmetic laser center. So most of the
Right.
laser treatments that we do
Mhm.
are not comfortable, but we can help you be more comfortable by applying numbing creams. We also have Pronox, which sort of helps take the edge off. We do exfoliation with dermaplaning. I don't know if that's what you're referring to. That is a scraping that's done with a scalpel that removes the dead skin cells as well as the vellus hair, which for a lot of women, that light layer of fine hair on the surface of the skin doesn't look well when you put makeup on, doesn't look good with the makeup. So a lot of them come in to have that done to take off that little blonde layer of hair.
Okay, is that like you're just basically cutting it off, or you're actually removing the follicles,
It's shaving it.
shaving it?
Shaving it off, yeah, with the scalpel. We do laser hair removal, which is damaging the follicle in hopes that we damage the follicle so much that the body doesn't have the ability to regenerate it. We
Okay,
have an amazing ability to heal ourselves. So, like with laser hair removal, it's effective, but you have to be consistent. It will damage and hopefully permanently damage the follicle so the hair doesn't grow back. But in a lot of cases, it will. Over time, you'll have to come for a touch up or something like
okay,
that because the body's healing the
right.
follicle.
Right, right, right. So it sounds like you got a variety of treatments that can affect just about anybody's desires for what they want in terms of their facial skin and everything else, right? And then you do weight work with people who are overweight and that type of thing as well?
Does some work with medical weight loss.
Mhm.
She does do a little bit of that. But like I said, we're primarily cosmetic laser center. So
Okay.
we'll treat broken capillaries, around the nose. We can treat broken capillaries on the legs with laser. We have microneedling, which helps to resurface the skin. We have a microneedling radio frequency device called the Vachi, and that is 36 needles that penetrate the skin, and then a radio frequency energy is emitted underneath the skin to break down the collagen, which your body then would need to regenerate the collagen in hopes that it regenerates it stronger, and then the skin will be tighter as a result.
Okay. So you're trying to teach the body to regenerate its own collagen? Is that
Correct.
okay?
Correct. That goes back into where we talk to the client about supplements that they can be taking. A liquid collagen supplement that we sell here is called Skin Aid. I love this product. I drink one every day. It's just full of, it's got collagen, it's got peptides, it's got MSN in it, it's got vitamin C, and it helps to give your body what it needs to regenerate. So oftentimes people are depleted and they want to do a non-invasive type procedure, but in order, that's a controlled damage, a non-invasive. It's not like going under the scalpel and having a surgery. So we are damaging the cells in hopes that when they do regenerate, and they will, because we have an ability to heal, but we hope that it is stronger and tighter and you're getting more benefit, but it has to start from within.
So it kind of sounds like when a weightlifter is trying to build muscle, they're going to tear that muscle down. They're going to burn it out, right? And then hopefully then when it grows back, it grows bigger and stronger and continues to add muscle. Yeah. So this is the same thing, only with your face and your skin.
Same concept, same idea of a non-invasive type procedure,
Mm-hmm.
controlled damage.
Very interesting. So let's talk a little bit about the impact of this. What kind of impact on people do you see when they solve like their acne problem or just, whatever, skin problems, whatever problem is causing them to feel uncomfortable with how they look? What kind of things do you see? I mean, I know that's what your passion is, right? Is to see those changes in people. So just give us an example of some of your clients and, the things they say and feel and after they have these things done.
I think for me, I love to solve the problem. I'm a problem solver. So oftentimes things have to be done over and over and over again in life. But
Right.
if someone comes in with age spots caused from the sun, we can do one or a series of laser treatments, and then those spots will go away. Now, provided they use sunblock and stay out of the sun, they probably will not come back. But it feels so good to have someone say, "Oh my gosh, I've had this spot for so many years, and now it's gone.
Right.
I couldn't put enough makeup on to cover it, and now I don't have to worry about that."
Right.
That's a wonderful feeling. And back with the acne, my sister suffered from bad acne growing up, and she controlled it with diet. But when we can get in there and talk to somebody about supplementation and then clean the skin and help them clean that up, it can really change, especially teenagers, with how they feel about themselves and being seen and being out in public, and, to eliminate the need for a lot of makeup to cover things up is always gratifying.
It's the roughest part of life. It is for a lot of people, getting through those years, because everybody's concerned about how they look,
Oh,
and then there's all these things like acne and all these things that can happen that make you not look good, and so that it is a tough part of life. So that's great that you can help kids with that, because I mean, a lot of these things that you're talking about did not exist when I was growing up in the 1950s, early 60s. When I was a teenager in the early 60s when the Beatles first came out in 62. So that's I'm aging myself, but it's this is the tough time, and a lot of this that you're talking about, just nobody knew about this. Nobody even knew about that you really shouldn't drink milk if you have acne. I mean, nobody knew that. Nobody ever thought of that. Nobody even connected what you were putting in your body with what your face looked like back then. It was very rare.
Yeah.
I mean, chiropractic or chiropractics was not even. I mean, it was just coming in, and my mother, who was a nurse, thought it was, really weird, and my dad thought it was really cool. So we actually had a chiropractor when I was like 12 years old, but they had a real difference of opinion on that, and get my neck cracked. My mom was just like, "Oh no, don't do that." But I've always been into these things. I'm very much open, and my dad was, to things that were not considered the norm. So it really, I've always been open to, new things and whatever it is, just this, not to have a closed mind, and I think that's important. But sounds like you've got it all covered from everything that you offer there. And tell us a little bit about the medical doctor that's associated with your firm.
So our medical director is Dr. Harold Bafidas. He's a certified plastic surgeon. He's been practicing for a long time. His main office is in Jupiter, Florida, and he has an office also in Palm Beach Gardens. And he does full body facial and body plastic surgery.
Right. Does he kind of oversee the other kind of semi-medical things that you folks are doing? And I know.
Yes, he does. And we have a nurse practitioner here as well
Mhm.
that works under Dr. Bafidas.
Mhm.
So all of our protocols and all of our laser safety and everything is overseen by her and Dr. Bafidas.
Okay, I think that's really important thing for people to know. That you really do have that supervision with the medical doctor on everything that you guys are doing.
Everything that we do.
Yeah, right. How many people do you have on staff altogether?
We have 6 total.
Okay.
Yeah, we have. It's a family owned and operated. So myself and my 2 daughters.
Mhm.
And then we have a laser technician, esthetician, Gina Bianca, who does a lot of the hydrofacials, chemical peels, and she also does the laser. I primarily do laser. And then our nurse practitioner, Kathy Corbo, she has 25 years of experience in injectables. She has a background in OBGYN. She's wonderful, very knowledgeable in many arenas when it comes to health and wellness. And she does all of our neurotoxins, neuromodulators, and fillers, as well as oversees any of the medical weight loss necessities or the B12 shots or IV vitamins or any of the other things that we offer here.
Okay.
And we have a young esthetician who's just as sweet as she could be, Sarah Basor. She does all of our hydrofacials, some chemical peels, and the lash extensions.
Awesome. Awesome. So it sounds like you have quite a staff you're really proud of.
Yes, we have a great team here.
Yeah.
And we're like family, so it's nice to come to work.
That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. Tell everybody where you're located.
We are actually located in Boca Raton. We are at 94 South Federal Highway. That's 2 blocks south of Palmetto Park Road
Okay.
on the east side of Federal Highway.
Okay. And what's your website?
Our website is beautysmartmd.com. And you can also find us on social media at BeautySmartMD, Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome. All right. Well, so let me just repeat that again. 94 South Federal, BeautySmartMD.com. And what did you say about Facebook and the social media? What was that?
Follow us on social media. It's at BeautySmartMD.
Okay. All right. And what would be your final say? What 3 things would you like people to know about beauty and what you can do for their life? What 3 things would you say were the most important things you could give them if they came to your store?
So the most important thing, I think, to slow down aging, if we're going to talk about anti-aging,
Right.
is so number 1 is hydration. You know, you want to stay as hydrated as possible. Drink as much water as you can actually get into your body every day would be very, very beneficial. Exercise and yoga, because environmental stress adds a lot to the aging process as well.
Right.
Use your sunscreen in Florida. It's very, very, very important. Reapply the sunscreen often if you're going to be out.
So let's talk about that one. Okay, so the first one was diet.
Hydration. Well, diet and hydration, but for your skin's the largest organ of the body. And
so you need the water.
Lots of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. All right. And then the other 2 I can't remember now. What was number
Exercise
1?
or yoga, some sort of
Yoga, physical exercise. Right.
because the environmental stress can also cause aging.
Okay.
Exercise.
Good. Good.
And then, exfoliation as far as the skin is concerned, you need to rapidly turn over those cells. That's very, very, very important.
Okay.
Collagen is huge in keeping your skin young and supple, not to lose that elasticity so you don't get that crepey, loose, sagging skin. You want to keep your collagen up. Our bodies, we lose 1 to 1.5% of our collagen every day after the age of 20, and it just increases as you get older. So you want to make sure you're taking some sort of a collagen supplement, whether it's something that says collagen on it, or you're making your own bone broth at home, or doing something with that collagen and that hyaluronic acid in your system.
And that's tied to the fact, and that's all tied to the fact that we lose our ability to create human growth hormone, right, as we age.
As we
But-
age.
And there are some things, and it gets back to exercise that you can do. And I know that weightlifting, for example, and doing weights, it actually helps stimulate the growth of the human growth hormone. Have you heard that? And exercise in general, I would say. Yeah.
It's because you're regenerating the cells. Again, it's back to that controlled damage. Whether you're weightlifting, whether you're, running, whatever you're doing, stretching, you're moving. And when you move, your body sometimes can create damage, especially weightlifting. So you're damaging, and then you have to regenerate, damage, regenerate, damage, regenerate. But as long as you keep that process going, your body doesn't become stagnant. And so it will help with anti-aging.
That's
And
right. So you're damaging, repairing, but then also that's where the diet comes in, because if you have a good diet, then the regeneration is going to happen more effectively, wouldn't you say, and have more of a positive effect.
Correct. You have what you need inside to
Yeah.
on the outside.
I kind of leave you with this note, because I mention this whenever I can, but I'm very much into anti-aging, especially as I get older. I want to live longer, and I have a couple of heroes. One is this lady, Sister Madonna Buder, who was doing Ironman triathlons into her late 80s.
Oh,
She's now 90. She can't do the triathlons anymore in the 19 hours that they give you to do it, but she's still doing triathlons and she's still exercising. She's in amazing shape, but she was literally she actually beat my daughter when my daughter was in her 30s at the Ironman triathlon in Penticton, British Columbia. And I saw her race. She was 72 then. And my daughter was in tip-top shape. She was one of the best Ironman triathletes in California. This woman beat her when she was in her 70s. So, people don't realize how long we can continue to perform. Oops.
noisy.
That's right. And then there's one other one, and this one is the most exciting. His name is Robert Marchand. He lives in Paris, and he does a bike ride for every year. He invites people to come in his age group and ride around this track that's a mile long as many times as they can in an hour. And he wins it every year and gives himself the trophy, because the age group is 100 and over. He's 110 years old. And he's still doing that. He's still working out every day. And his doctors say that he's actually getting in better shape. He's actually improving his conditioning and his physiology every year, and he's 110.
And how does he look? How does his skin look?
I'll show you. Go online and type in Robert Marchand, Paris bicycler, and you'll see what he looks like. He looks pretty good. He looks like about 40 years younger than he is. So he looks like he's 80. He's 110. But that's exciting to be able to be in a business like you're in, and to be able to, help people continue to fight aging and continue to have healthy, vivacious, lifestyles, even as they get older and older and older. And we are, I believe, designed to last at least 110, 120 years. We just don't eat right. We don't exercise properly. We don't do all the things that you're talking about. Yeah. So I think we'll leave our listeners on that note, and make sure everyone checks out beautysmartmd.com and see what these ladies have to offer at this amazing studio they have in Boca Raton. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
All right. Very well. See you later. Thank you, everyone.